In the vast wilderness of the Maasai Mara, where life and death unfold in eternal rhythm, one lion became a symbol of strength, survival, and majesty: Scarface. His name, earned from a deep wound that ran across his right eye, became legendary not just among those who saw him in person, but across the world through photographs, documentaries, and countless online tributes. Over the years, stories about his might grew so large that myth began to mingle with truth. Among the most popular claims is that Scarface killed over 400 hyenas and 130 male lions during his lifetime, a tale that has captured imaginations everywhere. But is it true that Scarface, the famed king of the Mara, really slay hundreds of lions and hyenas? The answer lies somewhere between reality and legend. Scarface was born in 2008 as one of four brothers, Scarface, Morani, Sikio, and Hunter, in the Mara Triangle region of the Maasai Mara. Together, they would later be known as the Four Musketeers, a coalition that would define an era. Their early life was shaped by danger. Born into a world ruled by dominant males and prowled by rival predators, survival was never guaranteed. As cubs, they learned from their mother how to stalk, fight, and endure the harsh rhythms of the savannah. Each brother developed distinct traits: Morani, the fierce protector; Sikio, the strategist; Hunter, the relentless pursuer; and Scarface, the charismatic and bold leader. The scar that gave Scarface his name came during a territorial fight when he was about 4 years old. A claw strike from another lion cut deep across his right eye. It never healed properly, leaving a permanent mark, a wound that would transform into a crown. Around this time, the Sala's males, a younger coalition of powerful lions, were expanding their territory. They were strong, ambitious, and ruthless, the new generation seeking dominance over the lands once ruled by the Musketeers. But the ultimate truth is, the Sala's males inherited the Mara, but the Mara itself will forever belong to Scarface and the Four Musketeers. As the brothers matured, they formed a coalition, a powerful bond that allowed them to challenge older males and take over a pride. Their unity became their strength. By around 2012, the Four Musketeers had conquered the Mara Triangle and later expanded into the Marsh, Paradise, and Olare Motorogi conservancies, territories rich in prey and lionesses. Together, they overthrew established males and claimed vast regions. Their arrival reshaped the social balance of the Maasai Mara. The Musketeers ruled with dominance, and their bloodlines spread across multiple prides. Scarface, despite his injury, emerged as the face of the coalition, both literally and symbolically. His mane was thick and dark, his gaze steady, his movements confident. Tourists, photographers, and filmmakers were captivated by his striking appearance and fearless demeanor. His scar didn't make him look weak, it made him look royal. Soon, documentaries and wildlife photographers like George Logan, Jonathan Scott, and the BBC's Big Cat Diary teams began to follow him. Scarface's fame grew beyond Africa. He became a global icon, representing the raw majesty of the lion as nature's ruler. For years, Scarface and his brothers maintained control over their territory. They were rarely challenged successfully, and even when rival males attempted to move in, the coalition's strength forced them back. The brothers were often seen patrolling side by side, roaring in unison, a sound that sent chills through the savannah and silenced hyenas miles away. Together, they protected multiple prides of lionesses and cubs, ensuring their bloodline thrived. They were known for their close bond, grooming each other, sharing meals, and defending kills from hyenas. Many photographers witnessed them fighting off entire clans of hyenas, sometimes numbering 20 or more, just to keep their food. Over the years, stories about his might grew so large that myth began to mingle with truth. Fans around the world began to create stories celebrating his bravery. And somewhere along the way, one such story claimed that Scarface had killed 400 hyenas and 130 lions. In truth, there is no scientific or documented evidence that Scarface ever killed such an enormous number of hyenas. Wildlife researchers from projects such as the Mara Predator Project, Big Cat Diary, and the Mara Conservancy who monitored him for years never reported any such number. In fact, lions and hyenas do clash regularly in the Mara, but their encounters are typically short and tactical, about dominance, not extermination. A healthy coalition of male lions, like the four Musketeers, could certainly kill hyenas that ventured too close to their kill or cubs. Over the span of his lifetime, Scarface may have killed dozens of hyenas, perhaps even more, through numerous territorial skirmishes. But the idea that he alone killed 400 is biologically improbable and unsupported by observation. The myth likely grew from admiration. To those who watched Scarface face down whole clans of hyenas in videos and photographs, it felt like he could have defeated hundreds. His strength and confidence seemed unmatched, making such exaggerated numbers a poetic way of describing his dominance. What made Scarface remarkable was not only his physical power but also his unyielding spirit. Despite numerous injuries, territorial battles, and even being speared and later treated by rangers, he kept returning to fight, to lead, and to protect his pride. His scar, always fresh or half-healed, became a symbol of his resilience, a mark of a warrior who never surrendered. These scenes only fueled the legend that Scarface had killed hundreds of hyenas during his lifetime, a myth that, while exaggerated, captured his undeniable ferocity. For nearly a decade, they held power, an extraordinarily long reign by wild lion standards. Scarface represented something larger than life: courage, endurance, and raw willpower. In a world where animals often fade from memory, his name lives on because he embodied the timeless image of the lion, regal, proud, and fiercely protective. The number 400 is not a statistic. It is a symbol of reverence, a way for people to express the magnitude of his legend. But as all kings must learn, time is the greatest enemy. Around 2016 to 2017, the four Musketeers began to weaken. Scipio was injured and later disappeared. Hunter and Morani, though still powerful, began spending more time apart. Their once unbreakable bond started to fracture. Scarface himself was visibly aging. His face bore fresh wounds, his mane thinned, and his right eye, already scarred, often looked half-closed. Yet he refused to back down. He continued to patrol, roar, and defend his pride, even when his body was no longer the invincible machine it once was. In later years, Scarface was often seen alone, wandering slowly but proudly through his territory. The rangers of the Mara Conservancy watched over him, ensuring that poachers or human interference did not claim his final days. He became more of a solitary king, weary but still dignified. Years passed. Seasons turned. The king who once ruled with fire and fury now walked alone, older, slower, but still proud. The lion who once commanded fear and respect began to fade. His mane, once dark and full, turned thin and ragged. His steps slowed, yet his spirit, unbroken. As the years drew to an end, Scarface vanished from sight. Rangers and photographers searched for him, fearing the inevitable. And then, they found him, lying peacefully beneath the shade of the land that had always been the same earth where he was born, the same winds that carried his first roar. 9th of June 2021, King Scarface was seen here in the Double Crossing area, his original birthplace. Not far from where his story began, near the Muziara Marsh area, his birthplace. But the most heart-touching fact is that he dragged his weak and thin body to 25 kilometers, just to be in the land where he took his first steps, guided not by sight, but by memory. The great warrior who survived battles, wounds, and storms, now laid down his crown willingly. Alone, but not defeated. Weary, but still regal. In his final days, Scarface spent much of his time resting alone near the Marsh Pride territory, within the range now patrolled by the Sala's males. The Sala males, young, strong, and hungry for power, now roam these lands. In any other time, their path and Scarface's would end in blood. But legends command something beyond fear. They command respect. When they eventually came across him, they did not attack. Even he snarled at them. In this footage, we can see the ferocious Sala's males approached Scarface, sniffed the air around him, and then, astonishingly, left him unharmed. He was no longer a rival. He was a legend. They seemed to recognize that this old lion was not a threat, but rather a king whose rule had already been written into the land. On June 11, 2021, Scarface took his final rest beneath a tree in the Mara. He was about 13 years old, an age few wild lions ever reach. What made his passing remarkable was its peace. He died naturally, not in battle, not from injury, but from age. He did not die in battle. He did not fall to man's weapon. He simply lay down and rested, as if the Mara itself called him home. In that moment, the savannah fell silent. The Mara had reclaimed her son. The legend had returned home. And somewhere in the distance, perhaps, the spirit of a lion roared one last time, not in defeat, but in peace. This was Scarface, king of the Mara, born of fire, died in freedom, immortal in legend. When the news spread, tributes poured in from all over the world. Wildlife enthusiasts, photographers, and fans shared photos, poems, and words of remembrance. Scarface had become more than just a lion. He had become a symbol of wild majesty, resilience, and grace in the face of time. Even in death, Scarface's legacy endures. His offspring and relatives still roam the Mara, carrying his lineage forward. His story has inspired documentaries, art, and conservation efforts that remind people why lions must be protected. Scarface represented everything noble and tragic about the wild: strength, brotherhood, courage, and the inevitable fall of every ruler. His scar, once a mark of pain, became a badge of immortality. Whether he killed 40 or 400 hyenas no longer matters. What endures is the story of a lion who lived by his own law, fought with heart, and ruled the Mara not just through fear, but through sheer, unforgettable presence. Scarface's story is the story of nature itself, brutal, beautiful, and fleeting. From his birth in the Mara's wild heart to his rise as an unmatched ruler, from his fierce reign with his brothers to his quiet passing under the acacia's shade, Scarface's life reminds us that greatness is not measured in how long one rules, but in how deeply one leaves their mark. In every photograph, every roar, and every whispered legend of the Maasai Mara, Scarface lives on, the lion who became eternal.